It's the 21st of January 2021. It's about 8:29 a.m. and I'm beginning about half an hour earlier than scheduled. So I've been early the past. I've been actually ahead of schedule for the most, ahead of like the scheduled time for about the past week or so. What day is it today, actually? Oh, it's Thursday already. Wow. Didn't know that. So I'm going to begin a new mysterious being today. Why do I keep doing that? I should have rotated this already. Alright, let's get cracking. I think I have an idea of which one I'm going to tackle here. Yep. So yesterday was a complete fail day for work. Complete. I basically made a schedule out for myself, right, for work, where I can, attempt to or try my best to get 2 layout pages done a day, which doesn't really sound like a lot. By layout, it's basically digital pencils, where I can get 2 digital pencils out a day, and that way I can have a spare day on Sunday, which will be either used for catch up or a break day. Now, I forget at times how much layouts and pencils actually take out of me mentally. It's probably the most, for me anyways, it's where all the planning goes. So I think I have to think really hard, basically, when doing that, because it all really falls down to that. If that thing doesn't work, then regardless of how well a page is drawn, it's not going to be that great. So anyway, because of that, I set it so that I've got 2 pages a day, and I've failed completely. We're on Thursday, and I've only got 4 pages. And now I really need to stick to schedule and try and get 2 done today at least. I will be working on a Sunday, which sucks because I was looking forward to a day break. But I'm looking at my schedule, and I don't think I can afford to. So that really does suck. I don't really have much. But if I manage to stick to this schedule, then I will have, for the next few weeks, my Sundays off, which is what I really want. I don't want to burn myself out. That's kind of the thing. And inking, while it is like a lot of detailed stuff, there's no real planning ahead. There's no real planning. Now I'm hoping I can stick to schedule for the rest of this month. It's just really, we'll see. I'll know when I get there, but it sucks. What's up, dude? So today's goal is to actually get 2 done. Will I be able to do it? I bloody hope so, because if I don't, I'm going to be very annoyed at myself. And I don't really know. It's going to cut into more of my actual, my break days, which I don't want it to. I really don't want it to. Now, if I could, you know, even get further ahead, great, that'd be excellent. But so far I haven't. So far I've actually just been delayed for the most part, which really does suck. Comics is so hard. I love it, but it's so freaking hard. I'm the same. Nothing ever changes. Other than, you know, the mood for the day. That's really all the changes that I see. I've got like an insect bite or something on my neck, and it's annoying. So that's annoying. Should probably change that color. Let's change. Oh no. Yeah, okay. Let's go with that color. Let's minus that a little bit. If there is any benefit at all in making comics on a daily basis, is that everything else feels so much easier. A single illustration, easy. Especially a single character illustration, it feels like a cakewalk. So that's definitely good. If there's anything that comics does, is that it makes everything else feel like it's nothing, or it's just easier. But it really goes to show how hard, how difficult making comics actually is. Alright. How far am I in? I'm about 9 minutes in, making good time with this. Okay, I think I might be ready to ink this, which is pretty crazy, you know, when I look at it. There's really not much to this. Actually, wait, before I do that though, I'm gonna assist myself a little bit more by doing this. Just a little assist. It'll make sense when I get to it. Tight. There's a bird running along the roof. I think that should cover it for the most part. What does this guy's face actually look like? Okay, it's kind of deformed. Wow, it's really simplified in the anime. But what are you gonna do? Alright, I think I'm gonna ink this thing now. I got flat pen 3. Yes. This is still a One Punch Man mysterious being. I've still got a handful I want to tackle. Again, though, there is a lot that I can't, that I'm not going to do because they have yet to appear in the anime, and I don't want to, you know, spoil it for anybody who's anime only. So I think when I get to that, I'll start doing the other idea that I had, which was suggested to me by Fure. We had talked about it. What was it? Turtles, TMNT, toy villains. There was a lot, you know, there was a lot of those growing up, and I think modern renditions of a lot of those villains could be pretty fun. So yeah, I'll get to that eventually. And then, you know, when One Punch Man continues in an anime form, or I just decide, because I'm sure I'm eventually going to decide, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to do more of the mysterious beings, because what the heck, spoiler or not, I'll continue, I'll pick it back up, because there is a lot, but I just, yeah, again, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's just watching the anime instead. Yeah, this one, he didn't last very long. He fought Genos. So... Let's continue inking this thing. I wonder if that actually helped doing that. That's dumb. Let me save the file actually. This one's name was Face Ripper. So he was actually one that appeared. It was a brief appearance. He appeared in the anime and the manga. Face Ripper. Let me save the file. Okay. I don't really... I think I should have drawn that face bigger, so I'm gonna just... I want to go with perspective. I may as well do it properly, right? His name is Face Ripper. Hopefully, I don't know. How are we doing? We're about 20 minutes in. I don't think I'll finish this today. It'd be crazy if I can, but I'm not expecting it. His body does have a lot of, obviously, detail because of all the dumb faces. I gotta see what other simple mysterious beings there are. It's the problem. Like, a lot of them are just detailed. I mean, thankfully the flats for this are just, what, 3 colors? 4, maybe, if I include all the main colors of the handles of the blade. But that'd be easy to flat. It's just, and the body is just, what, 1 color essentially. So it's not going to be that difficult. It's just drawing all the lines and even getting to the shading might be a pain in the ass. But so I don't think I'll finish this guy today. He'll most likely be wrapped up tomorrow, if anything. And hopefully by then I'll have at least the 2 pages a day done for work. We'll see. What a fail. Such a fail day. What sucks is that, like, with drawing and stuff in general, like, even if you schedule something out, doesn't mean it's going to work out really. Because, like, if you're not if you're not mentally in it, then you're just forcing it, and then the results aren't going to be that good. Which sucks, but that's part of it, you know, that's the whole creative aspect of it. I wish it were easier than that, more straightforward, something that could be, you know, like you can flick a switch and then it's all like, yep, ready. It's not. Like, I might be able to do these things quite simple. Like, I'm kind of doing this without really thinking about it. Mainly because it's just, these are just whatever, you know. There's a lot more pressure to get something to look good when it's not for yourself. It's for a task. I don't gotta make these good, you know. And if I do, it's me wanting to make it look in a particular way for myself. Whereas, you know, when it's work, there's a brief, there's a standard that has to be met, and it's for a bigger task and not just for yourself. So there's a lot more pressure in that sense. I should probably, how much of a face appears on this thing over here? Is it like more squeezed? Because the thing is, like, a lot of these faces are so distorted. Do they even look like faces at all in the end? Like, if I was probably doing this as more of a sketch as opposed to something that's more of a final polished image, I could fake a lot of these faces with just like scratches and shit, you know, like brush effects and stuff. But because I've maintained a specific look and polish to these, I feel like I have to continue that standard. So I did this to myself, which sucks. I've got nobody else to blame but myself. And it's not like I'm not enjoying it. This, you know, this is fun. This is relaxing, actually. Because, again, it's not for anybody. So I'm about 26 minutes in. I've got about 34 minutes left. If I can finish the lines within this session, I'm good. We'll see. That'd be nice. For sure, for sure. I'm just hoping I can actually get shit done today. Yesterday it was just a complete waste. It's weird, right? Because like it is early. It's like it's only 9 a.m. right now here. Yesterday I think I'd started and finished this stream thing around the same time, and I didn't actually begin proper work until much later in the day. Like I had opened up the files, I had read through the script, I had mentally planned out what it was I was going to draw, but I couldn't get into it. And it's not like I was slacking the whole day. I just felt incredibly restless. And every line that I tried to jot down wasn't coming out. I mean, I managed to thankfully get one page done. Because I think if I don't do a page, then that is an utter waste of a day. And I don't like that. I don't like wasting a day. So I managed to get one, but then when I like look back at it, I only properly began that page way too late in the day. Like way late in the day. It was in the evening even. That's how late it was. Then I'm thinking, I'm like, how did that happen? Like, if I had started, if I managed to get in that groove a lot earlier, I easily would have gotten 2 done. But then it's like, why did it take so much effort just to get to that? So I'm hoping that's not the case today. I'm hoping I can actually get into a groove quicker today. Like, as soon as I hop off this, I'm gonna definitely try to dive into it. G'day, man. Yeah, this one's a specific one for sure. I don't know. When I picked it, it looked simple, but once I started, I realized that there was a lot more to it. And so, here I go, screwing myself over. See, I didn't even get that. And that's why yesterday was a complete waste. Was not a complete waste. It was definitely, like, I did 1 page, so that's good, but not good enough. Not good enough. And because of that, I am an entire day behind what my, original schedule was planned. Which is just, like, I've already got it. My schedule's already super tight as it is. This is making it even worse. And I have, within the schedule, I have given myself a day off at least I try to give myself a day off every Sunday. Which is not technically a day off, because in those days, that's where I play catch up with, like, Patreon and such like that. If there's any other little illustrations that I need to do on the side for other jobs, then I'll do it on those days. But I would have used those as a rest day. And now I know this Sunday I can't do that. I have to actually get stuff done this Sunday because I screwed myself over by being behind an entire day. And I'm just so annoyed at myself because of that. I'm like, well, I'm looking back and I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't mind as much if if I if I were behind a day, but I did something else. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if I got something else done, I don't think I would mind as much. But because it wasn't the case, that's why I'm annoyed at myself. Like if I got one page done yesterday, but if I had gotten something else, if I did something else, if I had watched or read something else, if I had occupied myself in a way where, it was, I somehow got something out of it, something else out of it, whether or not it's work or not, then it's fine because it's not a wasted day. But I'm looking back at yesterday, I'm like, what the hell did I do? I just felt tired. I just felt mentally exhausted the whole day. That's why I'm annoyed at myself, because I'm like, dang, I could have just done something else. And I know there's going to be days like that, and that's why it sucks, because it's like as much as we'd like to plan things out, not everything's going to go to plan, And I've lived long enough to know that. It still does suck every other time that it does happen, though, regardless of, being aware of it or not. I just need to maintain the schedule at this point. Well, no. That's easy to say. But when you have a task that has a specific deadline and you've made an outline so that you do have these planned days off. Now, here's the thing though, right? I look at my schedule and I said earlier that I've left myself a free day, a free in quote day, every Sunday. What happens now is, because technically I've burned a day off away already, I have to remove one of those 3 days. In other words, I have to work one of those 3 days. So, and that's why it's a waste. That's why it's a waste for me. Because while yesterday I only got 1 day, and I would say technically I did have a mental break, rest, that is, yesterday, then I've already used one of those days up. I can't afford to have more, because that way it'll actually take away from those days that were planned to be those days. Do you know what I mean? The ones that were scheduled to be those rest days. And I think my schedule is already fairly loose, but it's just I have a lot to do. And it's honestly mainly this period, this part of the job. Like, as I was saying, it's layouts. It's the layouts and the pencils. Those are what drains me the most. Mentally. Colors colors are time consuming, but it's also kind of the easiest, because while there is a lot of thinking and planning, like a lot of experimenting, it's already drawn out. All I have to do is flat color, which is tedious, but very straightforward, very straightforward. Penciling and layouts are what take the most out of me mentally. So inking is both relaxing. It's relaxing, but the actual work that I have to ink, there's just so much little details that it is annoying, but that's the project, I guess. So Like, well, this what I'm inking here, this is nothing. But it's also easier because it's organic. So inking is actually, it's relaxing, but it is annoying because it's a lot of technical stuff, I suppose. It's more detailed orientated. But yeah, it doesn't take up, it doesn't mentally drain me like layouts do. And I don't know, I all those artists, all those comic artists and whatnot who can do like can lay out like a whole book in a day is bloody crazy to me. I'm like, that's awesome. And I think I'd be able to do that if I didn't feel like I have to stick super close to the script, or if I made my own script, I'd be able to do something like that. But because it's a collaborative effort and I have to follow a script, it's interpreting the script, and there's so many ways to interpret a comic book script as well. It's not an easy task. It's fun, but it's so draining. So we'll see. I'm hoping I can do the 2 today. Minimum is 2. If I can, I mean, heck, minimum is 1, to be honest. But I think if I end up doing lesser, then I'm really gonna, eat away at those 3 days that I've set up for myself. And I really don't want to. I really think those days are important. Now I could break it up. Like, I think doing layouts, like doing a whole 10 to 12 days straights of like layouts can burn you out mentally, and that's probably what's happening really. It's too much of it. I think with the last one I broke it up. Did a couple days layouts, then a couple days inking, then a couple days colors, and then went back and forth with that. But then sometimes like that breaks a flow, if that makes sense. And because it breaks flow, it kind of loses out. Like the whole switching of disciplines can sometimes lose its effect, at least. For example, like when I was doing random views, I don't know how. I'm looking at it now. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, I don't know how I pulled off doing a page a day. And by a page, I mean layout, pencil, inks, colors. That way, every day was kind of like, every day kind of felt similar in a way, but because I went through the whole process in one day. But now, the difference with that, with having done that and doing what I'm doing now, is that the stuff that I'm doing now, it's not, there's more people involved. I mean, with random views, it's just me and a buddy who wrote the story out and the script out, and I don't need any approvals for the layouts and for the pencils. Here I do. Because there's more people involved. There's an editor who's looking through it. It's not, the process it takes longer now because of it. And so you have to think differently. Like I can do, like I think with random views, I didn't even do super clean pens. I didn't even do a tighter penciling. It was just basic outline, basic layouts, and then me just inking over it because I already knew those characters. They were my characters. They were easy to just tackle. The project that I'm on now, it's just I do the base sketch, and then I do what it is, a loose sketch above that, which is basically my pencils. And even those, if I look at them, I'm like, those can be, they're not super tight, but there's enough guidelines for that to make it easier for myself when I ink because of all the detail in the ink. And that is more you know, cuts into the time because there's just so much lines that I have to go through. And I really should like find a better way to do it because I'm handling the colors as well. It's like I really should somehow make the process easier for myself. That's why I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, while I like the style that I'm tackling this with, I know there's an easier way. I got to find a shortcut to it to get it looking good still, but not needing to take as long. Like if I know a figure or part of a character is going to be behind, say, effects like smoke or light, like a beam of some kind, I'm not going to draw the details in that anymore. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing now. It's about the end result. It's like, why draw? Because I think one of my main problems is I'm still drawing areas that I end up covering with effects or different color. Like, why am I putting myself through more work if it ends up not being seen? And now that's still something I'm learning, and I'm like, you know, trying to get over with my own work. It's like, I know this section, so that's what I'm basically trying to do. I will basically, when I do the my pencils, I'll know where my effects are gonna go. So if I know an effect is gonna, like smoke, for example, smoke or like light beams. If I know smoke and light beams are gonna appear over a certain section of the character, I'm not even gonna draw any detail above that section anymore. I'll outline it maybe, but I'm not gonna draw all the little details inside. Why? Because what's the point? It's not gonna be shown anyways. I'm not gonna change what the effect looks like. Oh yeah, absolutely. With the lettering, that's what I've been doing as well. I don't do the lettering. I fill in where the bubbles will be, where the speech bubbles will be, because I have the script. Because again, it's like, why am I drawing all these little details behind what's going to be covered with a bubble? Like, it's a comic medium where, you know, it has to gel well. They're not individual illustrations. Don't get me wrong, it would be nice if it can hold up as a single illustration, but that's not what it's supposed to be. Wow, I don't even think I'm going to finish inking this thing today. What garbage is that? There's just too much stupid detail on on these faces. Yeah, this thing's taking way longer than I wanted it to. Just like everything else. It's just so if goal is 2 pages today. I'd like to stick to that goal. I need to stick to that goal. I don't need to be more behind than I already am. Yeah, see, because you're handling sound effects and stuff, like with random views, the sound effects were part of the actual artwork, so it's not like I covered anything with them. I kind of incorporated them into the actual piece. with this project right now, I'm not doing sound effects unless I did like hand-drawn sound effects as part of the actual piece, and I don't know if that's even allowed. So I don't want to get into that yet. You know, I don't feel like I'm in the position to get into that. I think if it was part of my established style already, then it would make sense, but it's not. It's something that I would do post work, as in like I don't draw my effects out, I suppose. That's usually handled by lettering, and I'm not doing the lettering for this. So like those should be, you know, considered as well when you're drawing the layouts of pages. It's like, why would you draw more than you need to? I think that's the thing. It's like draw what's being shown only. But it's not even that. Like pencils and layouts is the story. If you can read the comic, you should be able to read the comic just with that, with layouts alone. Might not be good, as in terms of how well it's drafted. It's not going to be the best, but it should be readable as a comic. Everything else is just polish. So I don't know. It's all pain in the ass, I'm telling you. I hate that I love it. But what am I going to do? Like, it's probably the most rewarding type of work that I've done, comics, in regards to, you know, completing something and seeing the end result. But it doesn't translate in regards to, you know, compensation and stuff like that. Like, commissions pay better, way better. You know, way easier too. Like single character commissions are, again, a freaking cakewalk. The problem is they're not challenging. Like, I challenge myself when I do commissions by like attempting different things that I haven't done before, but in the grand scheme of things, they're not challenging. I get to experiment, you know, in regards to like color and lighting and such, but those are things that I end up doing more when making comics. What did Cebulski say? Well, it's true. That's what comics are, man. Like base layouts should be that's the comic. Everything else is just the polish. Is refinement, you know. The inks, it's a refinement. The colors, you know, help define it more as well. Yeah, and that's the work. That's the work. Like, if you saw the bloody, because Venom the End was done by, it was laid out by Adam Warren laid it out, and all I did was basically just do the pencils and inks above that, but he laid it out. Now if you look at how he laid it out, that was basically the comic. I definitely reinterpreted a lot of it. I made it my own, but his was the comic. If you saw it, you're like, okay, that's the comic right there. Plus, I mean, it helps because he wrote it, you know, so it was basically the story that he could have just done entirely on his own. but you know, I just happened to work with him with it, thankfully. So that was good. I mean, it wasn't, I would have loved to, you know, been able to do the lines. I think here's my thing regarding Venom the End. Super fun, had a ball on it, super thankful that I got a chance to work on that. It would have looked completely different had I done the colors also, because if I knew that I was handling all the artwork, I would have tackled it completely differently. There would have been things, a lot of it would have looked different. And even my color, what are those color alternates that I did for fun, where I colored my own lines after the fact, that's not even how it would have looked, because I would have, you know, because you know, if I had done it all, I would have left a handful of things that were drawn out in the color stages. But no, it was good. It was a lot of fun. Plus, I mean, I think I'm glad that I didn't, because I had original inks out of it. And that was super fun. That book was super fun. I got to draw Venom. What the hell? I never would have expected that. I never would have thought I'd get a chance to draw Venom. Like, he's one of my favorite Marvel characters. That's, any opportunity to get to draw him was bloody awesome. Nice. It's a long read, I'm gonna tell you that. Like, it's only 30 pages, but it's wordy. It's fairly substantial. I think they're actually releasing it as a trade, like all the end stories as a trade, I think. Because I just received a notification that I was sent something. And I'm like, what am I being sent? The only thing that I did for Marvel was that. And they said that I received notification that I'm being sent a comic, or like comps for a comic. And I'm assuming only, it's only an assumption, but I'm assuming it's like the trade of all the end issues. Which is good, isn't it? Because if that's the case, that's great, because then I get to read all the other end stories. Which, you know, I am curious about. Alright, I got about 5 minutes left. Yeah, I'm not even finishing this inks. I don't know if I can finish this in 5 minutes. The lines. It'd be nice. It's just these faces take so much time to draw. Even if they're so ill-defined with their details, it's just time consuming. I need to pick a bloody easier character, I swear. Yes. I don't know, man. It looked easier, I swear. Boy, was I wrong. Yes and no. I mean, like, what villain? What villain is interesting that hasn't appeared in the anime yet? That are more difficult to draw, or that have like stupid amounts of detail. Oh, yeah. Of all the dumb faces that I've drawn, I forget to draw his bloody actual face. So dumb. Ugh. It's weird because his face is so deformed. I don't even know what works. Like, it's just the angle that I picked is a little bizarre for his actual face. Ooh, nope. Nope. Okay. Well, I managed to finish inking him, so that's good. So, well, I'm done with this one. I'll continue this tomorrow, since it's Friday tomorrow. Yeah. And yeah, cheers for dropping in.